Hey everybody, Josh Larson here with the Rage Real Estate team, and it's time for another market update. So we've been talking for a while about how crazy this current market is, and this week what we want to answer is probably one of our most frequently asked questions, and that is, if I were to sell my home, where would I go? Where would I find something to buy? You'll remember from the last report, if you saw it, that we have moved from a market of shifting demand into a market of sustained high demand. And there's so much demand that the supply is not sticking around. And what's fueling that demand is record low interest rates. One of the things that's fueling that demand. So rates actually started to climb up a little bit above 3 recently. They've just come back down to below 3%, which is historically low. And then in our last report, we debunked the myth that what we're experiencing is record low inventory. Actually, our inventory is higher than it's ever been, but so is demand. And that's what's causing the difficulty in our market right now for buyers is we're experiencing more demand than we've ever experienced. And so the ratio of supply to demand is what's kind of out of whack. So why is supply and demand so imbalanced right now? We talked about these 3 indicators in the last report. Societal shift as people move out of tighter community into more homes with more space, a decade-long shortage of new construction, and record low interest rates. We talked about those 3 things in the last one. This time, what we didn't mention is an influx of millennial buyers. Over the last decade, there have been scores of reports and articles about why millennials are not buying homes and are sticking with renting homes. That has never been true in my experience here in Denver. Millennial buyers have always made up the largest demographic of all of my buyers since I started in this business. And so millennial buyers are actually the largest demographic here in Denver, probably because we're a very young, highly educated city with a high wage earning capacity. So millennial buyers are able to come out of college, and within a couple of years of being out of college or getting their master's degree, they're buying homes. And so that influx of millennial buyers is putting a lot of pressure, adding to the demand in our marketplace. And that's one thing that we didn't mention last time. Now, we all know that high demand and low supply leads to bidding wars. And if you've been talking to anybody that's experienced this in the Denver market, you know that this is what's going on. And this chart kind of shows exactly how that's happening. Last year, in May, the average list price to sold price ratio, in other words, where homes were actually selling compared to their list price, was 99.5%. It's pretty close to 100%. This time last year, homes were averaging right around 100%. In May of this year, however, they jumped up to 106%. Now, that might not sound like a big difference, but that's a $50,000 difference this year compared to last year. And for the average to be 106%, that means a lot of homes are selling for more than 106% over their list price. So then, prices are, on average, for detached single family, right around $700,000 now, which is historically high. We've got historically low rates and historically high prices. This time last year, the average was $533. So we've gone from $533 to $691 in 1 year. Good news is the median sale price is actually $100,000 below the average sale price. And what that means is half of all the homes that are selling right now are selling below $600,000. So even though the average is almost $700,000, the median is about $600,000, which means half of all homes are selling below that mark. There are options out there below $600,000. You don't have to spend $600,000 plus on a home. Also, the total number of sales is up, meaning the market remains strong, market activity is strong, and we're seeing people able to get under contract and buy homes. Lastly, we're heading into a seasonal shift. And so this is the time of year when the buyer pool tends to cool a little bit as buyers go on vacation, take a break from looking at homes every weekend, and we start to see things calm down a little bit. Now, the seasonal shift didn't really happen last year. What happened last year is we just maintained our momentum out of the spring all the way up until now. So it remains to be seen if we're going to see a shift, but so far it looks like we will, and we'll get into that. So if I sell, back to our original question, where would I buy? More options are coming. So inventory is climbing. Typically, this is the time of year when we see that happen. And so far, our market is following suit. So from April to May, we doubled the inventory, which is a really good sign for those of you that are looking for homes. As long as that continues, we're going to see more options for you to purchase in the months ahead as we head into summer and then into early fall. Now, here's what it looks like numbers-wise for you to sell what you've got now and buy your next home. So if you bought back in 2015, chances are really good that you bought somewhere in the neighborhood of $300,000, especially if you were a first-time buyer in 2015. Your interest rate is now currently probably around 3%, meaning your payment, principal and interest, is around $1,138 a month. Loan balance from that time to now is about $250. And if you were to sell now, just based on what we're seeing, this is really average numbers, you could probably sell for $550, which would leave you with proceeds of around $265. What that does for you in purchase power is it would allow you to buy a $700,000 house with $265,000 down. Your new loan amount would be $435, new interest rates still right around that 3% mark with a principal and interest of $1,810. So if you're going to move up, you're going to buy a larger home, get more space, you are going to spend some more money, your payment will probably change by around $700 a month to do it. And that's entirely doable. We can help you do that. We've got lots of buyers in that exact scenario that have been able to do that over these last couple of months. So, what do you do if you're in this situation? If you're one of these sellers who are thinking, I could sell, I would love to get more of a house, but what are my chances of actually getting a place? We can help you with that. I can come and talk to you about what it takes to sell your home in a good amount of time and to negotiate some favorable terms for you to be able to stay in your home after you sell so that you really give yourself as much time as possible to find your next home. So let's set up a confidential Rage consultation where I can come and talk through your home sale process. Then step 2 will be lining up any projects that need to get done. We'll have a consultation with our stager, Marty, who will get your home completely ready for photos and for showings. And then we'll get it on the market and get it sold. We'll execute the plan, help you sell it, and then be there every step of the way to ensure that you get into the house that you want in an amount of time that works for you. So that's our report. Hopefully that answers the question of if I sell, where would I buy? If you have further questions or anything else that you need from us, feel free to reach out anytime. Email, call, text. We're available for you, and we would love the opportunity to work with you. Thanks for watching.